Jody here. The common question that I get is, how do you germinate your seeds and how do you sustain them until it's time to put them into the garden? And the way I do that is by creating my own seed starting mix. The reason why I do that is because, first of all, when you're doing any number of seeds, it's much more economical to make your own. Just get the ingredients and put them together. But not only that, more importantly, is you control what goes in that mix. You control the ingredients, you control the percentage of those ingredients, and you control the quality of those ingredients. So you know you're getting a good mix when you do your own. And it's not difficult to make. All you need is peat moss, potting soil, you're going to want vermiculite and perlite, and you're going to want a little bag of garden lime. And it's important when you're buying your ingredients to know what you're getting. For example, with your potting soil, understand your brand, know the quality of ingredients that they use. Think about the reputation they have. If you're unsure, ask me and I'll let you know what's worked well, what I've not had good success with. Ask around, ask your friends what they've been using. But in order to make this, what I do is I get these little bins. And I use these for all of my mixing, my potting soil, anything I mix in these little rubber totes because they're great. They're solid. They come with lids that you just snap on and you stack them up. You throw a label on it, stack them in your garage when you're not using them, and it's tidy. I also use the 1 gallon bucket, and I love these ice cream buckets. You've seen me use these before because they're just perfect for measuring things out. You get good amounts, and you have much more control than if you're just scooping and guessing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the peat moss, and you're going to want to start with 1 gallon of peat moss. Now, peat moss is very dusty. It's a dry, dusty item, so you're going to find that it kind of flies up everywhere. You're going to want a squirt bottle nearby because you might want to squirt some of that dust down. Moistening it is fine. And I'm just going to load this up, and you're going to be able to see the dust flying around here real quickly. This is why you want to do this in a greenhouse area or outside. And the reason why I did not pre-measure this is because I wanted you to see how dusty it gets. There, you can see all the dust. You can see it on my hand. You dump it in there. Now, simply take your squirt bottle, squirt some of it down, brings it under control a little bit. And there you have it. That's what I wanted you to see. Make sure you have a wooden spoon handy. Now you're going to want to add a 1/2 gallon to that of the vermiculite. Works very easily. And again, this is also a little bit dusty. And you're going to want a 1/4 gallon of the perlite. You just keep dumping these in the bucket. Now you're also going to want a 1/4 gallon of the potting soil. I'm just going to fold this down here, use my cup, and even potting soil can get a little dusty. And there you have it. Now you're going to want to stir those up a little bit and keep your squirt bottle handy because as it's dusty, you can just continue to squirt a little bit in. It's called just pre-moistening is what you're really doing. But once you get that mixed in real well, use your squirt bottle. You can actually, when you fill your bucket with your peat moss, you can just pre-moisten it there. You can use a watering can if you'd like. You can use a squirt bottle. You can pre-moisten it there, or you can do it as you're mixing. Either way is fine. But once you get this mixed, you've got your basic seed starter. However, peat moss is acidic. So what you're going to want to do is counteract that with a little bit of lime. And it doesn't take much. And lime comes in pellet form or comes in the powdered form. I have the powdered lime here. You just dump that right in as well. And this you want to mix in very well. And again, as your dust flies, take it down with your squirt bottle. And there you have your basic seed starting formula. Now, let's talk just a moment about your ingredients. Your peat moss is, like I said, it's acidic, so you deal with that by adding gardening lime. However, the purpose actually of the peat moss is to retain moisture. And that's something you obviously want with seeds. You want them to be moistened quite a bit. The vermiculite and the perlite are both designed for drainage. You ask, well, why do you want something that retains moisture and something that drains? Well, it's because you want that mix. You want it to sustain a great environment. So you have a better chance of holding in enough water, but not retaining too much water. That makes sense. And then the potting soil is there because it's a great medium. It's a great filler, and it's got some of the same qualities. So we use that as kind of a filler, but a quality filler. And then the lime, of course, is to counteract the acidity of the peat moss. There are recipes out there that have you adding manure, which is okay. I don't do that because manure is high in nitrogen. You have to be careful with that not to burn seeds and roots. So I have not been adding that, but if you see that, it's not something, that you should need to shy away from. Just be cautious not to use very much. I do, however, use it in potting soil, and you'll see me use that in other mixes as well. But this is your basic seed starting formula, and the way to use it is I use these egg cartons. You just put a couple of rows in there. Squirt it down with your handy squirt bottle. It doesn't take long, but you still need to let that water soak in. And then once that water is absorbed and the soil is moistened, you take your seeds, whichever it is, follow the directions on the packet, and plant them as you would. Right, well, I hope this information is helpful for you. Give it a try and enjoy your gardening.